Hey, and welcome back to Stewball's Tech. Today we're going to be talking about an issue that is plaguing the computer laptop industry right now that needs to stop, especially on the gaming side. And the laptop that we're going to be referring to is the Asus M16 laptop. M16 from Asus comes with liquid metal on the CPU and thermal paste on the GPU. The particular one is the 2023 model, and it has an i9 and a 4070. So we're going to kind of show you what I found when I opened up the laptop, and then we're going to be talking about the testing that I did before and the testing I did after the repaste. So as you can see in this picture, the right-hand side is our CPU and it has liquid metal on it. It's important to recognize on this, though, that they do have a barrier to ensure that that liquid metal does not escape out of the CPU area and cause issues. The left-hand side is the GPU, which has just got normal thermal compound. The thermal compound looked like it was applied correctly, and it didn't look like it had any bare spots or bubbles. As you can see on the right-hand side, though, there is definitely a spot where there was no liquid metal that was making contact with it. I first noticed this issue when I ran a CPU test Cinebench to ensure that I was getting good performance data. I was running hardware monitor in the background, and you can see the data that I have there. So as you can see, the coolest P core was 74 degrees and the highest was 96. This was just after running Cinebench once. I also did a Cinebench for 10 minutes. And as you can see, that I was also getting 82 on the coolest core and 100C on the hottest core. This was very concerning, in my opinion, that I was not making good contact. In Cinebench R23, I was seeing about 16,615 points on the cold test. And on the hot test, where I'd ran it for 10 minutes, I was seeing 15,200 points. This led me to believe that we probably had an issue on the actual cooler itself and not making good contact. Liquid metal has a lot of good qualities that can be used for extreme overclocking. But while repasting, I decided to go with KPX thermal paste instead of liquid metal on the CPU. I also applied this to the GPU. After reassembling the laptop, I ran Cinebench R23 again, and I scored a 17,683 on the cold test. In a comparison, that's over 1,000 points higher than whenever I did it with the old liquid metal. On my 10-minute stress test that I ran, I also saw a massive improvement of over 1,000 points in Cinebench, and we upped it up to 16,285 points. Future Stewart here. I really appreciate those people who have already subscribed to the channel. Currently, we're only at 1.3% of people that are subscribed to our channel. If you would be so kind, if you could scroll down, press the subscribe button and possibly the like button, it means a lot because it means that more people can find this content through the YouTube algorithm. So we're going to be focusing on the P cores because that's really where we're going to get most of our performance. So when we look at these numbers, we're going to be focusing on the P core with the lowest temperature and the highest temperature and the delta between them. So the coldest P core that we saw was 70 degrees C and the hottest was 96, which gives us a delta of 26 degrees C before we repasted. After we repasted, we saw the coldest core be 90 degrees C and our hottest be 96 degrees C, which gives us a delta of 6 degrees C between the hottest and the coldest core on our short temperature test. This really shows that we have caused an improvement to lower that delta, meaning that across the core, we're seeing a more consistent temperature. Prior to repasting, we ran our 10-minute Cinebench run, and we saw a delta of 16 degrees C between our hottest and coldest cores. After repasting, we saw a delta of 7 degrees on the 10-minute Cinebench run. While looking at this 10-minute data, I did find something that was extremely interesting. Prior to repasting, we saw that our P cores were getting utilized 148%, whereas post-pasting, we were seeing they were getting used 168%. If we also include the power draw, we were actually seeing less watts pulled for the CPU during the test, even though we scored higher. So what does all this mean? Liquid metal is a great thermal paste whenever it's applied correctly. The problem with liquid metal is it stays liquid, and so it can squeeze out between the die and our cooler, and we can see what we saw here, where there's a spot that didn't have any contact. What I believe that we should be doing with these gaming laptops is just using good thermal paste and allowing it to be up to the individual to apply this liquid metal once they receive the laptop. If you have a high performance gaming laptop and you're questioning if you're getting your full performance, I would suggest you use a similar test looking at your hardware monitor to ensure that you are not having cores that are way hotter than others. Something else that'd be worthwhile checking is ensuring that you're actually getting the clock speeds that are rated for your particular CPU. If we are thermal throttling, you'll see that it goes up, it'll hit that limit, and it'll drop down and then drop down and keep dropping until we get thermally stable. Liquid metal is great. but it takes a lot of maintenance and upkeep to ensure that it continues to perform the way it should, and it doesn't handle jostling and moving. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and down in the comments let me know if you have a laptop that you're questioning whether or not might have this issue. I'd be interested to see what people are seeing when they open up their computers and look at this thermal paste or thermal compound. We'll catch you in the next one.